I'm Dan Holt. Come along with me today as we explore Oregon. Our first trip today is to Oregon's scenic Central Coast, where we'll see what it's like to live on a real houseboat. This beautiful place is Winchester Bay, 5 miles south of Reedsport. Then we'll also take a look at the lighthouse on a cliff north of Florence, and the tall rocks and short lighthouse on to the south at Bandon. Exploring Oregon. Part 2 takes us to the restored ghost town of Golden, Oregon. Since mining techniques have improved, there's still more gold to mine around here even the second time around. Part 3 of our journey is a visit to Pottsville, where we'll learn a little bit more about antique machinery from Mr. Potts. Our first stop today is at Reedsport, which is about 60 miles southwest of Eugene, and there we're going to look into houseboat living on the Schofield Creek. I've always been curious about what it's like to live on a houseboat, so I just stopped here downtown on Highway 101 and crossed the boardwalk to this green one. As you can see, it's just built on top of some big logs. The best thing is that when you don't own any land, they can't tax you much, which is appealing to me. The taxes on this place is only $35 a year. With all the low-income people we've got, it would sure be nice if more folks could get houseboats and be out from under the high cost of living. Is it all right to be on cable TV? You don't care?
No, I don't care. I'm too old to worry about that anyway. I'm 80 years old.
You're 80? Oh.
So, and I've lived here for 31 years. It'll soon be 32.
What's your name?
Alice Hackey. I've been on in the papers so much that it don't worry me. No, we had to fight to stay here, my husband and I. And really? As you see, we're the only ones left here. There used to be houses all a long way down on both sides.
Well, did they make a law against living in a houseboat?
Well, I don't know what you'd call it. I guess they did. But the city of Reedsport didn't want us to stay here. So I had to fight them in the DEQ too. And so I told them that if they'd buy me a house, I'd move all right. But they wouldn't do that, and I said, well, this is my home, so I'm not moving.
How long did you say you've lived here?
31 years.
31 years. There used to be more people here.
Oh, yeah, there used to be. This house was built over a smaller house. People from California came and bought that little house. And so they built that over that. They made it all right because they built over it before they got messed up with the city.
Do you have to pay rent here?
No,
That's nice.
I'm considered a homesteader.
Oh. Well, can anybody else build a houseboat on the river? Or
Not now, they can't.
Oh, that's too bad.
So this is only, and they have to leave me stay here because I've lived here so long. So this is my home, and so.
See, there's a lot of people that are looking for low-priced rent nowadays with work's kind of scarce. They made it.
Yeah, I own the walk,
Uh-huh.
and I'm the only one that has ever kept it up.
Oh.
Even these people here, they're trying to sell that house, but people want to buy that, but they want to change the walk, and I tell them no way. If it's all right, they can buy the house. But if they start giving me orders what they're going to do, they're going to have to go because this walk belongs to me.
I see. And they can't actually sell this one because it was here before they made the laws, huh?
Well, no, but the house that they built over was. The other house was smaller. See, you can put a boat in that house in the end there.
Oh,
that's
nice. Keep it out of the weather.
Yeah, and he fixed it so he could haul it up out of the water during the winter months.
I see.
And they lived in this part here.
Oh yeah, pies. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, my husband and I, we lived in the little house over there.
Oh, that little first one.
Uh-huh.
You lived there first? Oh.
See, the back end of that was a boathouse too.
Uh-huh.
But we put our boat in there. But we redid that and made it over and lived in it.
Uh-huh.
And
Well, that's real nice in here. You got it just real cozy. Huh.
it's good enough for me. It's small enough that I can keep it up. And
Yeah.
I commercially fished at one time.
Uh-huh. You said you and your husband used to catch shad here?
Yeah, he wouldn't go out in the ocean. This would be before his time when I did the fishing outside. But I loved it.
Oh. You were able to make enough to make a living at, kind of?
Oh yeah, we used to make pretty good at fishing, but nowadays it's not so good.
Oh.
Yeah, I finally hooked to the sewer. Now they can't give me any trouble at all. I'm not polluting the river at all in any way.
Well, all the boats use the ocean, or they used
Yeah,
to. They don't
do
anymore.
here too. Look at those that got parked up there in the marina.
Yeah.
They use them. A lot of the people live on the boats, especially in Winchester Bay.
Well, sure.
But of course, that's different.
You built your own boat all the way, huh?
Yeah.
And this is the house that you used to live in, huh?
Yeah, it is. Oh, Bill, I almost let my fire go out.
Oh, yeah, it's still
Later years, I sort of adopted other people's children,
Oh.
and the kids that come down here were into dope and all of that stuff.
Oh.
I fixed that for an extra bedroom, but I
Uh-huh.
kind of flubbed.
Well, that's pretty nice. You lived here when you first came here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's really pretty nice. It's got everything you need. Part 2 of our journey takes us about 20 miles north of Grants Pass to the ghost town of Golden. You will only see Wolf Creek on the new maps, but the old maps show that there used to be several mining towns in this area. Names like Placer, Greenback, and even the unpromising name Starve Out pops up. Wolf Creek has probably survived because it's right on the I-5 freeway. It's still a gas and grocery stop today. When you get to Wolf Creek, you just go a little bit south, and then you go to the east about 3 miles, and you'll come to Golden. An advertisement in the newspaper a few years ago entitled "Ghost Town Parcels for Sale" made me want to visit Golden, Oregon. The picture in the paper was inside an old school, and it included 78,000 square feet of historic old buildings on 50 acres. Some people from California bought the 50 acres that was for sale, and they don't welcome tourists at all. The 97-year-old school that you saw the picture of sits behind the trees, and you can only see it by hiking up the creek. 1/2 mile on upstream from here is the rest of Golden. It's owned by Roger Ramsey, and he likes visitors. In fact, he even has a video you can watch that tells some history about this place. Roger has evidently spent a lot of time in restoring the buildings around here, and this old church was built 100 years ago. The sign says that $2.5 million worth of gold was taken out of here, and that was when it was only $16 to $18 an ounce. They had a 2.5 mile pipeline and sprayed through the hydraulic nozzles to wash the dirt away from the gold. Now, with improved mining techniques, you can use this trommel to trap gold in the screens. Roger's cousin mined out 153,000 in 1 year during the 1960s, when gold was $35 an ounce. Pottsville is the next place we'll visit today. Just 10 miles north of Grants Pass, you turn right on the Hugo exit. Go about 2 or 3 miles till you come to an old rundown gas station grocery, and then on the next road or so you turn right and go a half mile. That's Pleasant Valley Road. Ed Potts, the owner, is an interesting old character. He is a former president of the Senate. This happens to be his own collection of relics. One time a year on Father's Day, he fires up some of his old antiques, plus other people around the state bring their things in too. And this becomes a regular beehive of activity. Now, once a year you drive this old taxi around here, don't you?
Yeah, I drive this a lot.
Oh, not just once a year, huh?
No, I drive it heck all the time. And then, if somebody, people come in at the airport or something, want to come over, I go over and pick them up, you know, and I make parades and all.
Ah, well, that's something.
And down the other building, on further on down, I got Model T pickups, nice ones, you know.
Oh, you've got another building too?
Yeah, down at the other place, down below further.
But well, batteries, of course, you probably can't keep the batteries up.
No, that's the
Yeah,
trouble. I charge them up every so often.
You have to put a new battery in one on once in a while.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Huh.
See up on that wall over there, all them blow torches?
Yeah. What about?
Well, it's about as big a collection of blow torches as around. See?
Oh! Wow, that's a lot of blow torches, all right.
Yeah. This is a siren off a horse-driven fire engine that was in the San Francisco earthquake.
Really?
It come, and this dropped down and friction drove on the wheel, see, for the siren. But it was on a fire engine that was in the San Francisco earthquake. The fact is, I have the helmet for the fireman and some of that stuff. The fireman, he got killed, but I've got some of that stuff too for away.
Huh.
This piece of equipment here is an ozone machine. Everybody knows, you know, it's used to be at the butcher shops before they had, refrigeration.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to have something so the meat wouldn't spoil. It used to be the law that they had to have one of them. That's an ozone machine you turn in. I could plug it in here, and in 2 minutes it electrifies every bit of the air in here, and then germs in here and kill them.
Really?
Yeah, and that was the law they used to have.
That's a big starter.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow, that's looks like it's probably about 25 horse or so, or
That'd be
30?
about that.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, it would outpull probably 200 horsepower V8 engines too, as far as that goes.
Probably so.
You know, it's the lugging power. Yeah. This is a starting engine here off of a big old diesel. It was in a mine way down the river. That was been made and took down to California to show them how to build a Golden Gate Bridge. That was built before they built the Golden Gate Bridge.
Really?
Yeah, and the Oregon cavemen took that down there to, you know, to show California how to build a bridge. So I got a hold of it, so I just kept that model, see? That's old. It's got history there.
So it's like a model that they copied off from.
Yeah. The Accident Association wouldn't even let you start this thing up. That saw turned any direction, and you could cut a tree down, or you could buck it, or you could do anything you want to with it.
Even backwards it would cut?
Huh?
Even backwards it would
Sure, this could turn. This
Oh,
could
I
go
see.
up.
Yeah.
This rolled any way around.
Oh, yeah.
So.
The OSHA people would have a fit on
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about that stagecoach?
This wagon was used on the original run from Kirby to Crescent City.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the early, I got it out of Crescent City, and I had to make a tongue for it, and I had to rebuild 2 wheels and put everything on it. It was, you know, it was just rotten wreck, so I spent a lot of time rebuilding it.
You made those wheels?
I made the spokes.
Were they like axe handles?
Quite as good as the other. There's a fellow made in there. The piece, see, this is another piece I made here. There's a piece I made. Anything that was down below, it had rotted out, you know.
Oh, it isn't one solid piece. It's just chunks.
You can see some of them had to make a little bit different. And same with something. I used old boards again, and I tried to use everything as original as I possibly could on it. And
Pretty hard wood, probably like oak or
see,
something.
this is the helmet that got coming that San Francisco earthquake of the fireman that was probably doing it. You know, I showed you in there that siren.
Yeah.
This helmet was in that. Probably the man that wore that helmet didn't make it.
Oh, it went through the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
So that's probably what happened to it. It runs good, you know. It's got good tires on it. I drive it ever so often too.
What year is that?
This is a 28.
1928 Model Ford.
Model T.
Model T Ford truck.
Uh-huh.
Huh. Well, that's quite a machine, all right. Got the old high roof.
It runs good.
State Capitol, total fire loss, 1935.
Uh-huh.
That's what the old Capitol building used to look like.
Yeah, and there was a safe in there that they found, and I guess that this was part of the safe, and I found out, so I kept it as a
For the
souvenir.
safe in the Capitol.
Yeah.
Now, what is that? That's from the Japanese?
Yeah, when World War II, they started to bomb the West Coast, you know, like on Pearl Harbor Day yesterday, and they set these across the ocean with balloons, and when they got down to a lower altitude, then they kicked these plugs out, which started forest fires. But the Japs wasn't as smart as they thought, because when they hit the coast, it was raining.
Ah.
And they didn't do too much damage.
Huh.
But they had one that was an explosive type that did land over near Bly, and it killed 3 or 4 people.
Oh, Bly, Oregon?
Uh-huh.
Huh. Well, that's something.
Yeah, but there's 35 of them in the United States.
Huh. And how do they start fires, though?
Well,
is that a flint?
see, that's the base. The balloon, of course, is above this. And the ignition system probably set right in here, and it was governed by atmospheric pressure, I guess, the way they explained it to me. Then when they drop down, when they come across the ocean, and when they come down lower, I guess, and that ignited these plugs and kicked these plugs out, which was phosphorus plugs, and it, just like fuses here on all of these, and kicked them out to start fires.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's quite a...
Huh.
But I say, there's only 35 of them in the United States.
Huh. Not too many of them got over here then. Now we'll take a look at some more of Ed's equipment. And while we're looking around, you know, I'd like to mention that during the war with Japan, people were trying to stay alive. Today there's a popular book out telling people how to kill themselves. Instead of doing that and finding yourself in a much more fiery condition in the afterlife, why not just die to your own will and let Jesus Christ make you over again in an exciting new life right here and now? All it takes is just serious prayer and tears. Join us again next month as we again go exploring Oregon. On our next program, let's take a trip up Portland's Sunset Highway and a little north to the half-deserted town of Jewell, Oregon, and see a house that's held up by a tree. Also check out the Camp 18 and Collier State Park logging museums while listening to the testimony about spotted owls. Are owls the real reason why our forests are being locked up, or is there another reason? Hear what's happening to our natural resources next time as we see Logging the Old Way.